friends, I want to share some exciting news with you. We have the opportunity to read some great bedtime stories with you this year. Our first one we are going to read of this year is The First Day Jitters. How many of you have first day jitters about going to school? First Day Jitters by Julie Danberg. Sarah dear, time to get out of bed, Mr. Hartwell said, poking his head through the bedroom doorway. You don't want to miss the first day at your new school, do you? I'm not going to school, said Sarah, and she pulled the covers over her head. Of course you're going to school, honey, said Mr. Hartwell as he walked over to the window and he snapped up the shade. No, I'm not. I don't want to start all over again. I hate my new school, Sarah said, and she tunneled down to the end of her bed. Well, how can you hate your new school, sweetheart? Mr. Hartwell chuckled. You've never even been there before. Don't worry. You liked your other school. You'll like this one, too. Besides, just think of all the new friends you're going to meet. That's just it. I don't know anybody, and it will be hard, and I just hate it, that's all. Well, what will everyone think if you're not there? We told them you were coming. They will think that I'm lucky, and they will wish that they were at home in bed, just like me. Mr. Hartwell sighed. Sarah Jane Hartwell, I am not going to play this silly game 1 second longer. I'll see you downstairs in 5 minutes. Sarah tumbled out of bed. She stumbled into the bathroom and she fumbled into her clothes. My head hurts, she moaned as she trudged into the kitchen. Mr. Hartwell handed Sarah a piece of toast and her lunchbox. They walked to the car. Sarah's hands were cold and clammy. They drove down the street. She couldn't breathe. And then they were there. I feel sick, said Sarah weakly. Nonsense, said Mr. Hartwell. You'll love your new school once you get started. Oh, look, there's your principal, Mrs. Esslinger. Sarah slumped down into her seat. Oh, Sarah, Mrs. Esslinger gushed, peeking into the car. There you are. Come on in. I'll show you just where to go. She led Sarah into the building, and they walked quickly through the crowded hallways. Don't worry. Everyone's nervous the first day, she said over her shoulders as Sarah rushed to keep up. When they got to the classroom, most of the children were already in their seats. The class looked up as Mrs. Esslinger cleared her throat. Class, pay attention please, said Mrs. Esslinger. When the class was quiet, she led Sarah to the front of the room and she said, Class, I would like you to meet your new teacher, Mrs. Sarah Jane Hartwell. You see, everyone has first day jitters, even your teachers.